Welcome back into the Just Beavin podcast. Andy, JP, the Beav, following week 5. Guys, how are we already 5 weeks in to this fantasy season, to this football season? Crazy to believe. But we got a good show planned for all of you today. Week 5 recaps, week 6 previews with a special guest from our giveaway, the spin the wheel that we did to close out the show a week ago. Power rankings, picks of the week. You know the drill by now. Fellas, good to have you back on. Drew, the Beeve, you got the grass. What's with the theme behind you today? What's with the right before we hit record, you had left the room and you were like coming out of the grass. It was weird. It was like you were coming out of the shadows.
Yeah, man. I just got done building my dam. We had to switch our shelter. It got a little damage to a rainstorm, so I just thought I'd lay in the grass for a little bit and catch my breath, and I was just it's a little nice little bed. Yeah, I don't know. Just feels comfy out there. I don't know.
The Beeve, Beevin. JP, how are we, man?
Good, coming off a huge win on a fantasy note, and could not be happier about that. Can't wait to discuss that one.
I'm
Yeah,
also
likewise.
I'm
We're
also
all
very excited. Yeah,
yeah, all winners this week. All winners this week on
All
the
all of our
panel.
teams performed very well too.
yeah,
They
they
did.
did.
They did. You're
Well,
gonna
I'm not really a winner because we'll get into that later. Go ahead, but.
Beeve, your team did very, very well for themselves this week, and we will show that as we go through our week 5 recaps. There were quite a few matchups this week that were lopsided, but with the league being constructed as it is, that was going to happen. And this was our match of the week. JP, you taking on Mr. Luke Hunley, Hunley's Hicks, and you handed Luke his first loss of the season. He was our final remaining undefeated team at 4-0. Now you are both 4-1, and Luke's team didn't play bad. They put up 150, but JP, your team spots up 167. I know you're fired up. I know you have a lot to say, and I'm not going to hold you back any longer.
Yeah, no, I mean we heard the noise coming into the week. We saw the way Luke was acting, all of us in the group chat, and for the first time I think since the inception of the league, I had more than half the league cheering me on in a game. I mean, I asked the or Luke asked who was rooting for Big Pharma or himself, and everybody supported me. It felt good to be a part of the league for once, not the commissioner, but a part of the league with my constituents and now I go back to my seat above the sky and I'm looking down on everyone as they all like to make fun of. But Luke, it was a glorious win. Your team did not show up in its fullest, but you still got great performances from Tonjis, Goddard. Fields had 7 points going into the fourth and finished with 26. Bill, out of the depths of hell, scores 27. 14 carries for 111 yards. Unheard of stuff. I mean, I'm starting to regret trading him away. Now, granted, I got him for my handcuffs, but my God, 111 yards on only 14 attempts is just insane production. I'm extremely happy with the way my team performed. Daniel Jones got pulled. I mean, look at the score. He put up 17 before getting yanked. That could have give him 3 more points. That gets me to 170. And Derrick Henry, the looming fog over my team. Not sure how to feel about this. It's a tough call for the sake of the team though. Looking at benching him, just got to see something out of him. It's tough for who Derrick Henry is, but it's just the way things are going right now. I got a couple easy games coming up here, so I'm probably gonna sit him down until just to try and get points for. I know the ceiling is just so high with him, but his floor is really killing me. Brian Thomas is back. The stat or the fantasy points don't show it, but 4 for 6, 80 yards. He would have had a touchdown had he not been interfered with in the end zone. We're looking at a 20-point performance possibly from him. I could not be happier about that. Got a couple bye weeks coming up here with Jefferson and Mason that we'll talk about later in the show, but I feel really good about this win. Diggs is electric. I'm just super pumped up about this win. Heading into an easy stretch of games. Oops, did not mean to click off. Heading into an easy stretch of games though, and you know what, Luke, you were a worthy opponent, but not worthy enough.
Yeah, the way so trying to rephrase things instead of just repeating the facts of what we've seen. Obviously, JP is going to carry most of the analysis because this is his match. But fellas, I have questions. I have one question on JP's side, and I have one question on Luke's side. We can kind of discuss as a panel here. My question for JP's side, you mentioned it as your looming fog. We need to have a talk about Derrick Henry. What's going on here? Man, this is legitimately concerning stuff now. Beav, we'll start with you. I know JP's kind of talked about Henry already, but what's happening?
I don't know. He just it's not even like he looks slow or he looks strong still. I mean, he's just not getting the holes it seems like. Like I don't know. Like it's not like he's not running hard. I genuinely don't know what the problem is. Like he's getting the production like you see he got 15 carries but only 33 yards. Like, and he got a touchdown, which it was a garbage time touchdown. But I mean, look look at these stats. If he doesn't get that touchdown, he has 3 points. I mean, that's not very good, and that's very concerning for JP's team, especially for having that running back duo with C-Mac and Derrick Henry that we thought going into the season was going to be the best running back duo in the league. And I mean, he's fallen off. I don't even know he's he's not an RB1 in this league anymore, and I don't think he is. What do you think, JP? Or I'll get there to you, Yak.
No, it was a question for you guys. Just
Oh,
trying to
oh,
trying to
I
just
I'm
get it.
just I'm worried about he's going down on first contact, which is
yeah,
it's just out of character for Derrick Henry. He gets through the hole and the first guy he runs into brings him down every single time. And this is even if he gets through or past the front four.
yeah.
I mean, the whole Chiefs game, I think his longest rush, I could click on him and I think it said 7 yards was his longest rush. I mean, completely out of character. And I said on last week's show, he always kills the Texans. He always kills the Texans. If he struggles against the Texans, I'm gonna be worried. I am worried. The panic button's been hit. People are saying, "Oh, it's because Lamar is out. It's because Lamar is out." Well, what the hell when he was playing with Ryan Tannehill and
Yeah, exactly.
scrubs over there. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And the panic button's being hit. I'm a little worried about him.
All
I
right,
mean,
then. Oh,
which I like to add too is that like when Justice Hill came, or not even Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell came in. I mean, he looked just fine running. So I
He looked
mean,
better. Yeah.
so it was a little concerning when you saw him do those pitches. The Keaton Mitchell, I think he had three or two. I mean, he got at least 10 to 11 yards on one carry. I remember watching in that game. So that's a little concerning as well. I wanted to mention too.
I'll get my question now on Luke's side. Mentioned Justin Fields, 25 points. He looked fantastic. We know what he can do as a fantasy quarterback, but guys, the Jets are 0-5. They're not a good football team. And while Fields is on this 2-year contract, and numbers wise, he played good against Dallas, they still lost by 15. He is keeping himself relevant in the fantasy realm. But how long is he in New York for? And I'll start with you, JP. Is this truly his last chance in this?
I believe it is his last chance in the league, and I don't think his leash is as long as people give him credit for. We sit here and us as a panel and people outside the show and just your regular everyday Joe Schmo who watches football looks at that stat line and goes, "Wow, Justin Fields is playing good football. 300 yards, two touchdowns, 26 yards on the ground against a solid, okay Dallas team, not their defense, but their team." 22 points. You should be in games when you're scoring 22 points. Let's go look at his first through third quarter box score. The coaches, that's what they're seeing. The pros, the scouts, they're seeing what's happening prior to all this fourth quarter garbage time crap. And this is what Bears fans talked themselves into because we looked at the box score and Fields would have 330 yards and two or 110 yards on the ground and all this stuff garbage time. It's all garbage time. I think his leash is getting very, very short if they don't start winning games here. Because Tyrod Taylor came in and played the Bucks down to literally a field goal. A field goal. It came down to the last play of the game. Fields played that way week one and has not played that way since. I think he's in a lot of trouble, and Luke's looking at one of the worst trades in league history if he gets benched.
If he gets benched, that's the worst trade in our league, and by far, and it's not even close.
Certainly up there.
Granted, Dage's trade was pretty bad, but I think this would be number one for sure.
All righty. Those are my two questions. If you have anything else to add, Drew, we can move on to our next game.
Yeah, I just real quick, I want to hear your thoughts. Jerry Judy, boys, what do we think? Is he lost out there, or I mean, we saw Dylan Gabriel this week in London. The production was there with his tight ends, and they seem like they want to get Isaiah Bond involved. So, do we think Jerry Judy's out of the picture in that Browns offense? Andy,
I
what do
just
you think?
I just think they're trying to figure it all out right now. Going through a quarterback change, and we've seen this in Cleveland year after year. David Njoku is a prime example. When he had Deshaun Watson, Njoku was a tough play in fantasy. But when Joe Flacco was his quarterback, Njoku was a must start every week. So I think that's what's so tough with Cleveland. There was a stat Dillon Gabriel, with his start on Sunday, became the 41st different starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns since 1999. How ridiculous and
Insane.
how
That's
insane is that
crazy.
stat? So think about it.
Insane.
It's tough for these receivers to get on the same page necessarily. I shouldn't say get on the same page, but it's hard for us as fantasy owners to know when Cleveland is changing their quarterback 3 times a year, who's going to get the rock. So it's partially to blame on Judy, but I also don't blame him at the same time because there's so much change, and that's just not
Yeah.
good for these guys. So that's more my take.
I think it was Cam Boyer in our league, and I honestly I pride myself on being a football enthusiast and all this. I had never put myself in this perspective. I want to say it was maybe Kendrick Bourne. It was a backup receiver went off when a backup quarterback played this year. I don't remember who it was, unfortunately. But I'm just going to say Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne for the sake of this, but it wasn't. That's not who he was talking about. But he said the backup quarterback comes in and some random receiver always goes off, and it's because that's who they built their chemistry with through all the practice reps. And Dillon Gabriel was all over Isaiah Bond, and was working with the twos all up until last game was the first game he finally started. And who's been the Q's quarterback? Dillon Gabriel. And rookie quarterbacks are always looking at the tight ends. Checks out why the tight ends were so involved. But if you have Bond stock, which Zippy does, I'm so mad at myself. I didn't go after him as the first post draft free agent acquisition. But yeah, if you have Bond stock in any of your leagues, he is becoming a playable player. But long story short, yes, I'm worried about Judy.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I got. I just want to see your thoughts on that. But little fun meme. Slayton Magic is over, Luke.
Very much so. And guys, holy cow. I mean,
This
this was the fourth highest scoring showing in the history of Beaverfest. First 200-point performance this year. And it goes to Jack and the Rippers and Mr. Cam Boyer. I mean, there's the numbers speak for themselves, guys. This is an over 100-point victory. And I want to shout out Cam. He put up 94 for a team in his position. That's all things considered not a bad week, but you look at the running backs, Kyron Williams going for 30 plus, Jonathan Taylor going for 30 plus. It's just incredible. And Boyer's team is scary, man. When I played him, I was the second highest scorer in the entire league, only behind him, and I lost by 20. His team can put up a lot of points consistently, and that's the recipe to winning this league. On Cam's side, love that he started Dare Gumugawale this week. Of course, the only Texan running back who does not see snaps on the offensive side of the football. I wrote down Theo Johnson, ? And we get a couple of these Theo Johnson games a year where he goes for 25. Not a bad first start from Dillon Gabriel in a fantasy perspective. I think out of your super flex, he takes 16 a week. And Tyler Warren continues to be everything we as fantasy,
leads the league in yards for tight ends.
Yeah, for Cam Crook, continues to be the guy that he's hoped to be in a dominant Colts victory. So those are just my gut reaction takeaways. Drew, I'll let you go from there. But yeah, just unbelievable stuff from Boyer. Shout out to him. Literally, Juwan Johnson, the only dud, and he still nearly puts up 210 points. Unreal.
Yeah, I just want to touch base on Cam's team. I'm happy that Evan Ingram finally showed up to Planet Earth and had a great game. That was great to see. As we know, these last 4 weeks for him were a little rough. But I think it's safe to say that we can start calling Cam's team the three-headed monster with JSN, Kyron, and JT. I mean, Kyron getting 8 receptions is crazy. Is that the
very
most
out of
season?
character? Very out of character for Stafford. I'm sure that was a career high for Kyron. Stafford doesn't really check it down.
Like 10 targets for him too. That's crazy. As we see there too, I mean, only 14 carries for 65 yards. Granted, he had 2 touchdowns, but I mean, that's just madness. And I'm telling you what, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Could have had a third touchdown. He fumbled.
Yeah, he very much did. And I want to hear your thoughts on this, boys. Is JSN emerging into a top 5 receiver in this league?
Yeah. Maybe not top 5, but a top option, man. You guys know I've been so high on him as a fantasy receiver this year. I had put as much redraft stock in him as possible. So it just continues to make me feel good about that statement. I wouldn't say maybe not top 5 in the league, but he's up there, man. He is working his way up the ladder, and it's crazy to see what happens when DK and Tyler Lockett aren't there.
Yeah, I was gonna say my apology to JSN and any JSN owners. I had him as the wide receiver 3 in that class, and I mean, obviously Quentin Johnson was my number 1, and we're seeing how that aged. I had Flowers at 2, but I just thought JSN's game wasn't going to translate that well to the NFL, and especially now without a vertical threat on the outside, I thought they were going to be able to close it up the middle of the field more. And boy, could I have been not been more wrong. He has been everything and more that Seahawks fans thought they were getting. Like Andy said, I don't know about top 5, but he has safely entered the top 10, undeniably. I think it's even safe enough to say that he is willing the Seahawks offense to wins. I mean,
Oh, 100%.
130 yards. I think his lowest yards this year was against Arizona, and he still had 78 or something.
Yeah.
JSN's playing like the offensive player of the year, and yeah, I mean, just an insane win for Boyer's team. 209 points. Would not want to have to play him next week, that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
goody, and I get to. But yeah. One more thing I'll add here is Cameron hit a home run with Waddle right here. I think it's safe to say it's better that Tyreek's out, as we saw this week. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched that game or not, but Tua just looked at Waddle the whole time that game. I mean, he was force feeding him like crazy. I mean, it was ridiculous. That's what I just saw. I mean, you see the stat line, 110 yards for 1 touchdown.
Yeah. Oh, right on. He's a wide receiver 1. He's ready to take on that role.
Yeah, so that's all I got.
Alrighty, on to the next. Beav, you get to start us off, man. Big victory for you. Your team put up over 170.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, most people thought I put 171 up with another quarterback. I did not, which is very impressive. So if you throw Caleb in there at the super flex, I might hit 200, but probably not.
I don't think he outscores. I mean, it would take a lot of points for him to outscore what Waller and those guys put up. Or I guess
Yeah,
Palmer would have been who you pulled out. So
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, my team's fighting. I mean, Kelsey looked great last night. He looked like, I mean, I can ask for anything else. I'm happy to see Ridley perform this week. I mean, if you circle that over there, I mean, he had 10 targets this week. That's pretty impressive. I think that's his season high. Obviously, it is 131 yards as well. I'm happy to see Cam Ward and him are getting that connection. Other than that, for Wade's side, Rico Dowdle, uh, what a great game for him. I got a little scared, but 32 points. I wasn't really expecting that. But man, boys, do I need C.D. Lamb back? Bad.
I don't know. You did just fine without him. You would have beaten pretty much everyone else in the league except Boyer this week.
I don't think I would have beat you either. I think what you have 190.
Oh, and me. Yeah, good point. But third
So
highest score in the league, man. That's never
yeah,
something to hang your hat on. JP, what do you got here?
yeah, I'm still worried about Nico Collins. I understand he found the end zone, and I do understand they also blew out Baltimore. But even during that blowout, he was not getting involved very much. We go look at his game log. Outside of week 3, he has not been playing like a wide receiver 1, and that is extremely worrisome. I gave you your flowers in the power rankings this week, as we'll see, because I did say last week's episode that until you hit that 150 point game, I'm not sure how much confidence I have in you. And it was great to see Genty get involved, not only on the ground, but also in the through the air. They were finally getting him screens, and that's what you like to see out of your number. What was he, 6 overall draft pick? But
yeah,
the big question mark here is Travion Henderson. I don't know. Your team has a lot of question marks all over it. You got a lot of boomer bust guys, and your young production is so hit or miss right now that it's. I know Andy's super big on seeing the consistency, and I know Andy's just not seeing that, and I'm not seeing it either. But I'm taking the highs a little bit more than the lows here. But there's question marks all over. And then for Wade's side, the only thing I noted is that obviously Rico Dowdle, but Kendre Miller getting 10 carries and a catch, 11 touches. I think it's not really a time of if for Kamara in New Orleans. It's more of a when now. I think they realize that his time's running out there, and they need to get what they can for him, and that's why they're kind of easing Kendre Miller and more. So good win for you though. Sucks to waste that 170 point win on Wade, but take them how you can get them, as Andy always says, and points for still matter. So
Yeah. Win them how you can. You guys pretty much hit on everything. It's that Patriots running back situation. I'm so happy I don't own anything
It's
there because that's
yeah,
scary, man. And the only thing
it's
with you, Beeve, like I'll say this, man. I know you're trying to win. We're all trying to. Well, most of us are trying to win. It's going to be hard for you to win, man, with two rookie running backs leading the charge. JP said consistency is everything. Like solid week for Jenny, but I
well,
don't know how many boom weeks you're going to get out of these guys.
I'll tell
That's
you
all I
this.
ever got.
Well, I'll tell you this. So once CD and Mike Evans come back, hopefully they're back by week 9, week 10, okay? And I'll throw
Yeah.
Javonte Williams at the running back and bench Henderson. And then I'll have my 3 tight end
So
playing.
you think you're comfortable? You're going to say that's a championship back?
I mean, Javonte Williams is playing like an RB1 right now. I mean, look at him. Look at his points. I mean, he scored 27 this week, 26. I mean, look at his numbers. I mean, he's
he is
playing
the
good
RB
football.
three.
I mean, he's playing good
Yeah.
football. I mean, he's playing very good football.
I it's just discussion. It's just conversation, man.
I do agree, but
If you look at
my running back situation is a little shaky. I mean, I got
yeah,
Swift on the bench. I got Michael Carter, who's not going to be there long term. Henderson, like we said, that New England backfield is just a mess. I don't even know what. Maybe since Antonio Gibson tore his ACL on the kickoff, maybe I'll see more production from Henderson now. I don't
I
know.
I was just bringing it up because something we always when we look at another team in the league, talk about Jake and his pursuit for a playoff spot. We harp on his running backs and how important it is to have quality running backs in this league. So
No,
just a curiosity thing.
I'll inject myself. I agree with you, Andy. I mean, I understand Drew. Drew's got to take it personal. It's his team that we're dogging on right now, but it is something to worry about. And we can yeah, Javonte Williams is the running back 3, and let's say he keeps that up. Who's to say Genty keeps up what he has? I mean, he scored what 31 against the worst defense in the league in the Bears. He scored 16 against the Colts in a blowout, which is probably why he had so many catches. I mean, I didn't watch that game because it was so bad. So
Yeah.
if someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming at least 2 or 3 of those catches came after they were down 20, 21 points. And so we take that away. He finishes with what, 11? Then I don't think
yeah,
you're sitting here so comfortably. And
no,
so,
I
yeah, no, I
agree.
mean, I completely agree with Andy. I mean, the rookie's got to figure it out, or I think you're looking at a first round exit. If you make the playoffs, I think you're looking at a first round exit, unfortunately.
But can we agree that really none of the running backs in this league have been going nuclear besides Kyron and A Chain and JT
And C-Mac
and C-Mac? Those are
hasn't
4
scored all
guys.
20 once.
All of which are rostered by teams that are really looking to make a run. So that's really the only thing I have for
I
this
agree.
matchup. So we can move on. But yeah, and shout out Wade in his running back situation because that doesn't look terribly fun to be a part of either. As we move on, Matt and Jack, Henny putting up nearly 140 in his second win of the season, and Jack finishing at the 84 mark. JP, I'll let you start us off here and just your gut reaction from Matt getting back in the win column again.
Yeah. Uh, Bryce Young and Gino, man.
It's tough.
The cruddy thing is I believed in Gino. I've always believed in Gino since he took over in Seattle. I've praised him as one of the better quarterbacks. I always said he was underrated. People hated on him too much, even when they were losing last year. I didn't blame Gino. I've always believed in Bryce Young, and it's getting tough, especially in the fantasy world. Obviously, he gives up Lawrence and Kamara, hoping that Gino can figure it out and come to life. And a week later, he puts up 6 points. Not looking good. He's very lucky he had Jack on deck, and that Chase went off in garbage time because at one point in time, Matt was projected 96 and Jack was projected 91, and
Yeah.
so it was and having to start Bryson
Bryce,
Tremaine.
okay. Thank you for bringing him up because Matt, you win the award for starting a guy this week who I've never heard of in my
Never
life
heard of him.
before we
I've
prep
never
this
heard of him either.
podcast. Who is this guy?
Never heard of him.
Who in the world is Bryson Tremaine? No idea.
Had never heard
No
of
idea.
him, and so it's tough out there. But good win for Matt, I guess, to right the ship. Josh Downs finally got involved. You love to see that. You love to see Kirk getting involved as well. And then there was one more. Oh yeah, Drake May. I cannot believe they just hand the ball off all the time down on the goal line. It's insane to
Yeah.
me that they don't let the kid play football. So tough showing for Drake May, but good win for Matt.
Yeah, we had the classic Shaheed long touchdown on Jack's side. Once again, zero running back help. Holly Gordon in the negatives. Jack, I'll put you on blast. You continue to look like an idiot for not entertaining a trade talk with me for Ollie Gordon because, dude, he has looked just really
Horrible.
bad. Granted, not getting opportunities, but this is why. And then yeah, for Henny, like I said, who is Bryson Tremaine? Question mark. No idea who that was. Shout out to you though, Matt, for starting him and winning a game in which you start a guy that none of us have ever heard of before. And yeah, we pretty much touched on it. Young tight end showed up for Matt, and quarterback's a serious issue. That's all I got.
Yeah, the one thing I'll add is, Matt, if you don't get a better quarterback than Gino or Bryce Young, you're not competing for playoffs. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I think he knows that.
Well,
Like, not even the quarterback thing. I think he knows he's not
understand
competing.
that, but I'm looking at this team right now, and unless Joe Flacco turns it up, I don't think this is a playoff team.
He doesn't even have Joe Flacco.
No, I understand that. I'm saying for Jamar Chase, for his production to go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Hunter Henry, what is he, the tight end 5? I'm not too
Something
sure.
like
I'm
Yeah.
just guessing, but I mean,
He's the tight end 5.
Yeah,
On the-
because he had a
on the-
35-point performance.
That's
on the money.
inflated.
But yeah, I mean, nothing against Matt's team. It's just, I mean, they're all hit or miss players. I mean, they're gonna have their big weeks, just like Laporta. Like, click on him. I mean, I think this is his first 20-point game of the year, and he was sitting like 7, 8, 10. Yep, see, 18 week 1. Then he plateaued to 7, 10, 9. Then finally had another 23. Had his first touchdown of the year this week. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. Matt's team just has some weird question marks. I don't know. And then he's got I think he has to start Sean Tucker again at running back again this week because I think Chubb's on a bye. So
Yeah. Chubb is on a bye, but I think Jacobs comes back.
yeah. So
A lot of interesting
stuff
stuff to look at there.
My bad.
Yeah. 100%, guys. This was a flame throwing matchup between myself and Ty. I mean, it was our guest last week, and him and I both said we knew it was going to be a good fight. And I'm so proud of this group of guys, man. This was an unbelievable effort. I love Puka Nacua. Jake Ferg, the season of Jake Ferg continues. Trevor Lawrence, a fantastic game on Monday Night Football. I want to thank all my league mates in front of me who allowed for me to get Emeka Egbuka. Is every week I am more and more thankful for all of you, and I'm intrigued with Alvin Kamara where he's going to go next. But yeah, man, I'm super proud of this group. This was such a gritty victory. This was such a show up and do your thing win, and I couldn't be any happier. Still the highest scoring team in the league through 5 weeks, and that's something to be super proud of. So super pumped for my guys, and definitely took a few victory laps in my house this weekend. This was a blast, seriously. 190. I'm never going to complain. Was scoring 190 points, and I said if I played Cam Boyer this week, I would have needed someone to check in on me because this is about as good of a week as you can have.
Yeah, it was good to see all your guys show up, especially Devontae Smith getting involved. That is something you absolutely love to see. 10 targets. And Emeka Egbuka with just a video game stat line. I mean, 7 for 7, 163, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Jake Ferguson continues to piss me off in the tight end premium world with 7 catches, 49 yards, and 2 touchdowns, equating to 30 points. It's getting disgusting out here for Ferguson. But Andy, I think preseason, I would have argued this was one of the worst teams you've trotted out into the fantasy world, but the quick emergence of Egbuka, Ferguson coming back to relevance, T-Law going for 2 rushing touchdowns on a stumble down to the ground. This is looking like your best team you've trotted out, and Ty putting up 160 and still taking the L. He said something in the chat about like, oh, I want to complain because I'm the first. I scored 160 and lost.
He's got every right to, man. He had a great week.
Let's look at his tight end he played here.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. Yeah, but
both tight ends.
But prior to a dominant performance by Mahomes in the fantasy world as the QB2, he wouldn't have scored 160. And so, I mean, I picked Ty to beat you all because I thought Mark Andrews would be able to match Jake Ferguson. Ferguson absolutely mollywopped him, and it wasn't even close. Good showing by Ty, though. He plays a couple more guys. Yeah. He scores 180 points here, and he's looking like a good team, but even better win for you. So good on your part. Tough for the Typhoons to drop a divisional game, and a lot of competition going on in the Bruise and Belligerence division. So,
yeah, just real quick, if Ty would have started Ladd, or I forgot he had someone else on his bench that scored double plus points. I don't know who it was.
Ladd or Addison.
Yeah, would he have been any closer or no?
It would have been closer, but he wouldn't have won.
Okay. But Ty, what my takeaway from this matchup is, please, please change Debo's name to Garbage Time Champ. Just give him a trophy. Just do whatever you gotta do. That's all that guy is. He's no good at football. He just finds ways to get points with 2 minutes left of the fourth quarter. That's all he does. That's all.
Yeah, I saw in Red Zone he scored that touchdown. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But every time I want to go
It's
dog on
every
this guy, he
week.
does something at the end of the game, and I can't dog on him because he's got 23 points. He's the wide receiver 7. It's pissing me off. But good win for you, Andy.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. It's good for the fellas. And we got one more before we get to our final recap, a special recap at that. Frank put up 140 in a win over Dade. Beav, I'll let you start us here.
Yeah, I'm officially worried about Frank's team. The injuries are catching up to him. Neighbors, he started Jaden Higgins this week, and he started 3 Texans this week. I think he started Woody Marks, Schultz, and Jaden Higgins. Is that right? Or he started
Woody
Stroud.
Marks, Higgins, and Stroud.
Yeah.
Good week for Stroud.
Good week for Stroud. I mean,
Great week.
The Texans, the back-to-back weeks looked like a competent football team. Granted that Baltimore didn't have Lamar, but I mean, they still put up 44 points. Guys, I want to ask you this real quick. McBride's been at a steady 10, 11, 12 points, but for fantasy owners, are we worried about him as not being a top asset to a team now?
No, it's not on him. It's on his team.
Just saw team high 7 targets. It's on Drew Petzing. Drew Petzing is an absolute dweeb. I'm not sure how he's still employed. Quite frankly, I don't know how you go up 21 points and you just take your foot off the gas. Where the hell is the intensity? I don't know if anyone watched that game, but my fantasy week depended on it, so I paid attention very closely. They went up 21-0 and just started handing the ball off, trying to chew clock. You can't do that for 30 minutes in the NFL, especially with a below average offensive line in Arizona. It was some of the worst play calling I've ever seen. And I understand the DeMarcado fumble really screwed the Cardinals, but that was one of the worst coaching performances I've ever seen. I don't even blame Jonathan Gannon. The defense did all it could. Drew Petzing's a fraud. Drew Petzing is riding the coattails of Kyler Murray's abilities, and he should not be employed much longer in this league.
I cannot believe that Gannon got fined for fucking getting pissed off at Dermot.
Well, it's by the Cardinals. It's self-imposed.
Yeah.
So
I get it, but
pretty sure he put his hands on him too, which
I mean, you can't. I mean,
yeah,
I understand.
I think DeMarcado deserved it, if not more.
Yeah.
But
no, I was just saying why he got fined. I'm not saying
team can find whoever they want, Drew.
I understand that. It just shows that no coach can give any fight now to their players. Like I don't know how to. You know what I mean? Like
Kelsey pushed Reed and they didn't find him. It just varies from organization to organization.
I understand.
It's just how it is. It's how it is. Looking at Dade, guys, he looks like a genius for making that draft day trade with me for Trey Tucker. Guys, put together some solid games, and I really love the future fantasy outlook of Cam Scatabo. I think those are the two things I really took away from Dade this week. And obviously, he didn't have a formidable quarterback to play. He didn't have a quarterback either healthy or active that wasn't on a bye to play this week. So that's
I was going to say the same thing. The Scatabo pick, obviously, passed on Igbuka and Warren, but he did state he needs a running back, and I completely get it. Scatabo's look good, and the future of him and Dart look great. And Tet's here. Tet's arrived. Tet's here to stay. 6 for 8 for 73 yards. He obviously isn't finding the end zone, but that'll come with time. But it's good to see.
100%.
A nice win for Frank. We will now get to our final recap. It is with our special guest, Anthony Zipparro, the winner of our getaway, joining the show next here on the Just Beavin podcast. Our second segment of the show today, something we have not done before. If you tuned into last week's show, we had our giveaway out on our Instagram page, beaver.fest. We spun the wheel twice. We had 2 winners. If our first winner who could not join us here on the podcast this week, Jason Hughes, which meant Anthony Zipparro, our second winner on the spin of the wheel for the giveaway on our account, was able to join us this week, and he will be our guest. We are going to recap one particular matchup from week 5 with Anthony. We will then preview week 6 and give our picks of the week with him. Before we do all that, though, Anthony, welcome to the show. Congratulations on winning the giveaway, and it's fantastic to have you here with us today.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Some would say, not me, that this was my idea. Big Beaverfest commenter. I said, hey, maybe let's have a guest on, and the wheel is just. I mean, that's just destiny. Shout out to the first guy for not showing up. Happy to be here and happy to break down some football.
I was going to say, throw in one more question before I let these two guys ask anything. You are probably the most active follower on our
Yeah.
page out of people who aren't in this league. What about, other than the fact that it should be noting for the listeners and the viewers who aren't in the league or may not know, yes, Anthony is cousins with Jake. I feel like that's a given, but sometimes you got to connect the dots for some people. But other than Jake being in the league, what drew you to Beaverfest?
I've been playing fantasy since I was 6, so going on 24 years here. And they always say nobody wants to hear about your fantasy league, but I'm obsessed with fantasy, so I want to hear about leagues when I can. And I've sat through a couple of drafts. I've been with Jake and other members of the league as they're drafting. I see the rapid phone calls behind the scenes and people trying to trade picks and everything. And you guys are really into that, and I can respect that. So happy to chime in and say who knows ball and who doesn't. Can't have Jake in a league with some people that know ball. So I got to make sure I'm commenting and then keeping it current. And as for the picks, got to keep you guys accountable. What are we doing? Picking 2 picks in the same game. I mean, that was absurd. We gotta get more consistent there. But yeah, anyway, I can keep you guys accountable. I'm happy. I love ball.
All right, fellas, we got anything for Anthony before we hop into the recap?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you did end up tailing the Saints.
Yeah, I did. So cash that. Did I put a large wager on it? Not at all. No. I mean, who's going to put a large wager on the Saints? But um, happy to have failed. Somebody commented, and that's what we needed. We needed a decisive decision, and I follow that guy.
Way
Yeah,
to go, Beef.
yeah, anytime. I was just gonna say, you better start fading me because I can't hit anything right now. So I think I'm 0 for 4 in the last 4 weeks. I thought my Chargers would bounce back, but that didn't happen. So I'm sorry I let you down if you tail the Chargers this week.
No, I had them in my survivor pool last week, and they lost to Jackson Dart. So what are you gonna do? I'm also super cold. Lost all my money on college football. Don't ever bet college football. It's all about the NFL.
Yeah.
Had Travis Kelsey first tutty last night, so that was huge. And then I proceeded to lose all those winnings on live betting. So it is what it is.
It all evens out at the end of the day. But let's get right into it, JP. We didn't recap one specific matchup in the first part of our show. And some may be thinking, why didn't we do that? Oh yeah, Anthony, your cousin, he lost a game this past week that he should not have lost. We are going to put that out in writing. Putting up 118 against our good friend Ipe and Brady O'Donnell. Just a rough loss. Just your instant, you commented on it on our Instagram post this afternoon. Just gut reaction from this game.
Yeah, I mean, despicable performance from Nuz LLC, honestly. I mean, when you're in a win now type of mode, these are the matches that you got to win now. So, Tyquan Thornton, just an absolute guru pick from my boy over there on the right side. I mean, that's just called knowing ball. That guy, I'd start Thornton over AJ Brown right now. Quote me on it.
Yeah, that was truly the difference in this matchup. And I think this is a panel question. JP, I'll ask this question to you first. Is it time to panic on Jake's team? He's 3-2, but this is about as ugly of a loss as you can have in these circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fading Jake in the power rankings, and every week he comes into the group chat bitching and moaning about how we put no respect on Nuz LLC, and he comes out and does this. And let me tell you, Jake, you're going to be even lower this week. You have lost even more respect in the power ranking form. Dropping to 3-2. You won last week on a fluky Garrett Wilson BS at the end of the game. Should be 2-3. And you know what? I'm going to say it again. He's missing the playoffs. 4th straight year. Still no playoff appearances for Nuz.
That's right, Anthony. I think we had an extensive conversation about this earlier in the spring, that Jake is the only original member to have not made the playoffs in the 3 years of this league's existence.
That makes me feel really terrible because in my own dynasty league, I have a lot of conversations with Jake and take some advice there. So that's an immediate write off. And I appreciate you giving me that tidbit because that is something that I had forgotten. And it is absolutely absurd when you're losing to Devin Singletary and Malik Washington. So
And Elijah Arroyo, don't forget him.
I have some respect on him. He's one of those guys you throw anytime tutty on every week. All right.
him and Luke Musgraves. That's
absolutely.
that's been Jake's big guy as of late. Drew, how about Brady, man? We talked about Tyquan Thornton for the win. Hampton, though, going on the IR. That's tough. How do you think that impacts Brady's team moving forward? He is 3-2 now, Drew, but that injury to Hampton is tough.
Yeah, I think it's gonna really affect them. I think people don't realize if Brady didn't trade Justin Fields and ETN, I think what did he do that week 2? I think he'd be 4-1 right now, right? Or even 5 and 0.
5-0.
5-0, yeah. So if he didn't make that move, he'd be 5-0 right now, which would be a big change. Now, granted, Sam Darnold has been stellar. He's been pretty good. Uh, but yeah. I want to mention that Brady did say to me in our chat this week that he was thinking about starting Brashard Smith over Tyquan Thornton this week, and it paid off him starting Tyquan Thornton. He had 12 points, and he got the victory over Jake. So I mean that paid off. But for Jake's side, I'm like JP said, I echo him. I'm very concerned. He doesn't have a tight end. He's starting Luke Farrell at tight end. That's very concerning. And he always talks about how he's gonna have Kittle back in week 7. But I mean, boys, I think that might be too late. Week 7, I mean, that's still 2 weeks away. I mean,
He does play
I
Wade this week, Drew.
I was gonna
So
say he's
that
got Wade
is
I
on deck.
I
so.
I mean, I'm still. I know,
You are
granted,
trying to publicly market one of your tight ends in a trade to Jake, and I don't think it's gonna.
we'll get into that later, but I'll talk about my tight ends later, which is fine. But I mean, hopefully Joe Flacco, for people that don't know, just got traded to the Bengals. He'll be their quarterback this week now. So hopefully that stock goes up for Chase Brown T. Higgins this week for Jake's. But I want to mention, I'm also concerned about AJ Brown. He didn't get the production again this week. I Is he just going to be a ghost in Philadelphia until he gets out of there, or what do you guys think? Anthony, what do you think about AJ Brown?
I'm gonna be honest. I avoided AJ Brown stock in all redrafts, and Dynasty is a great place to have him. But when you're win now, if I'm Jake, I'm trying to trade that piece for somebody that's gonna help me win now. I have no faith in the passing offense of the Eagles rest of the season. I don't even have a single Eagle on any team that I own. I am in 7 different leagues, so.
Yeah, it's tough, and I think the one thing I'll throw out, JP, I'll let you have the floor to wrap things out before we get to our previews. Jake having his first James Cook dud of the year probably couldn't have come at a worse time either. If you look at James Cook's logs this year, guys, he's been fantastic. I think every week on the show, I've been like, I hate the fact that Jake has James Cook, and he's just been so good, even though his snap share is bad. Like, that's not good, but the snap percentage that they have him out. But it is a rough time for him, for him, for him to have his worst week of the season, and that was just a weird game against New England in general. So that's all I have. JP, any closing thoughts before we get to the previews?
Yeah, watching Jake crash out on Sunday night about them not involving James Cook was absolutely electric. I mean, it was genuinely pure humor. 15 carries, but not involved, especially in a game they were losing. Hilarious. And then I, contrary to Drew, am not worried that Omarion Hampton is out because Kamani Vidal is the truth. I'm a Kamani Vidal truther, and I think he's going to slide right in, and they're going to realize that they shouldn't have picked Hampton. They should have picked someone else and rolled with Kamani Vidal. I'm pretty confident Kamani Vidal is going to pick up where Hampton let off. So
Interesting.
You heard it here first, but that'll wrap out our week 5 recaps. And week 6, guys, we've had a couple of weeks with some tougher matchups, and obviously we got some more lopsided matchups on the slate this week. JP, as always, we'll start with you. You're taking on Jack, and I'll give you the floor for your thoughts as you are in a prime position to start the year 5-1.
yeah, this all goes back to when I lost to Jake 2 weeks ago. I got the easiest stretch of my schedule coming up. I should be 8-0 after this, but said I'm going to be blemished with that one loss to Nuz, who isn't even going to make the playoffs, which is tough. This isn't going to be much of a match at all. Jack starting Chris Brooks, for God's sake. The worst team in our league by far, not even close. I'm tired of pretending Wade is the worst. I don't think Jack scored over 80 once this season. It's pretty despicable. I am going to bench Derrick Henry. He needs to be taught a lesson. He's been absolutely terrible, and I can't sit and watch it anymore. Cooper Rush is really holding that offense back, and can't sit and watch it anymore. So we're gonna take this week with our free win, and we're gonna start some guys who deserve some playing time, maybe some Kareem Hunt action.
Yeah, JP is my pick as well. And the only thing I really have on Jack is you look at his roster, man. The running backs are just non-existent. Ollie Gordon is his RB1. It's a tough spot to be in. I know we've talked about in previous episodes about him having good draft capital coming up, but that still doesn't hide the fact he's also, I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster is one of his starting 3 receivers in the year 2025. I didn't even realize at the beginning of the season he was still with Kansas City. let alone getting starts in our league. That just shows you the kind of the power shift we have right now in our league. There are just a couple of teams of rosters filled with guys who probably should be on most benches and taxi squads across the league, but this is the position Jack has chosen to put himself in, and obviously he's going to sit with the consequences of potentially being the second team to not win a game in a season in this league's history. But I don't know, that the tanking war should be pretty fun toward the end of the season. Drew, you have anything to add before we give it to Anthony?
No, I'm just gonna take Jack here. Nothing really to add. Like we said
Whoa.
before.
Whoa,
You're gonna take Jack?
you're taking Jack?
Oh, my bad. No, I'm taking JP. Sorry, said that wrong. My bad. Sorry. Just that Jack's just watch the future of Drake May, and that's about it. But I'm taking JP here, and it's not really gonna be a matchup. So
Your thoughts, Anthony?
Yeah, my thoughts is the only good thing about Jack's team is the name may need beer. So that's a sick name. Really good for the foundation of that franchise. But you gotta hope that HN gets hurt for Ollie Gordon to have the value that he needs. Brooks being on that roster, disgusting. And then Juju Smith-Poopster is just, useless. So I don't really know how your team gets that bad. I would love to know how many picks he has to try and change, the tide. But right now, I would want nothing to do with May Need Beers, other than maybe having a beer with him. I think that, JP saying he's going to bench Derrick Henry is insane. Does this league, not need most points? Sure, Kareem Hunt might outscore him, but benching Henry, that's just disrespectful. Okay, it's absolutely disrespectful. Um, and yeah, the only piece of value on that team on the right there is Drake May, and I don't even think if a super flex you can't trade him. So, my thoughts and prayers to Jack and May Need Beers, and then JP, that's a stud roster. It might be a Mickey Mouse league. I don't know who you're playing with, but clearly you might be taking advantage of some guys with that roster.
I can assure you that he has.
Yeah,
To answer your question,
that makes
Anthony,
sense.
Jack
To
has five.
answer,
He's
yeah,
got five
that's exactly
first-round
what I was
picks
gonna answer.
this year, and he's got 4 second-round picks this year. So he's got 9
Okay.
picks in the first 2 rounds. So he better hope the 2026 draft is the best class in fantasy we've seen in quite a while. And I can't
Good trade stock
confidently,
nonetheless.
yeah, I can't confidently say that's the case. So right away, we're from 1-0-5 team to another. Matt is taking on Crook this week, Golden Shower. And Matt, guys, he's coming off 138-point performance last week. Kind of the way JP, I'll ask you on this. The way I've described Matt in the last couple of weeks is it feels like he's going through a midlife crisis with his team. He's just making so many trades and not really sure. Who is Bam Knight?
Former New York Jet Bam Knight.
Oh, it's Donovan
Knight.
Oh, I didn't know he
Zonovan
changed
with a Z.
Oh, Zonovan Knight. That's right. Okay, I was
Yep.
like, I didn't know the name change. All right, but that's what I've seen JP with Matt over the last couple of weeks. He made that big trade with me. He's making trades left and right, swapping picks and players and trying to figure it out. But the midlife crisis description is what I've given Matt here these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I hate to sound like a broken record, but every week we get on here talking about his quarterbacks, and when Bryce Young and Geno Smith are your quarterbacks, you're not going to have much luck in this league. And yes, he's got a couple Mickey Mouse games coming up. I think he plays 3 0-5 teams back to back to back, so he will at least move to 5-3. But we've seen how he's stacked up against the good teams in the league, and it has not been a pretty sight. Yes, you just traded. Who did you end up giving him in that? You got T-Lon Kamara, and who did he get out of that? Picks?
Oh, 1 and 2 twos. It's my one.
Twos.
It's my one this year though, which I'm hoping my one this year is anywhere in the 11 to 14 range.
Yeah, the one thing hopefully for him is that Flacco is the difference maker in Cincy, and we can finally start to see Jamar Chase production. Finally saw Chase's first good game last week. Granted, it was all in garbage time, but who cares about that in fantasy? I don't know. It's going to be rough for Matt as he starts to face better teams later in the season, but at least he's got the cupcake games now to get back on track. For Cam, you're really just hoping for Dylan Gabriel to show you literally anything, and then Tyler Warren and Quentin Johnson to keep doing what they're doing.
Steve,
So is Cam starting Wentz this week? Can you scroll down and see?
They're on bye.
They're on bye. Damn. If Wentz wasn't on a bye this week, I was really thinking about taking Kruk. But I'm gonna lean Matt here. I do like some of Cam's matchups. QJ, I think he's gonna have a bounce back week against Miami. I mean, Golden is going against one of the worst defenses in the league with Cincinnati. I mean, that Tyler Warren going against Arizona. I mean, that team just lost to one of the worst teams in the league with the Titans. I mean, he's got a lot of good matchups this week, but not starting a quarterback this week at our super flex is a little shaky. Uh, so I'm gonna lean toward Matt. But once again, I mean, Matt's quarterbacks, boys, could have, I mean, up to 8 points again. I mean, those are some rough quarterbacks he's having to start over here. Uh, Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I would call these two teams that are stuck in purgatory right now. They don't look like they got the ammunition to go all the way. I think the take that Jake's not going to make the playoffs is crazy when I see these other rosters. All right, this I think he might be in a good spot compared to these guys. They've got some good pieces, some potentially tradable pieces, but this matchup looks pretty middle of the road. I think you're going to need your players like Jamar Chase to put you over the edge. And that quarterback play, who do we got on the right there? We got Gabe. Yeah, no, that's just disgusting quarterback play across the board. So I think between Jacobs and Chase, that's who's going to win this matchup. But both teams are middle of the road, and I wouldn't want to be them right now.
So it is Matt across the board here in the matchup. Bit of a rivalry. These two are rather chippy in the chat, but obviously it's not really going to be much of a back and forth here. Guys, this is a really good matchup. Frank taking on Luke. Luke just had his first loss of the season to JP. We talked about that in our recaps. Just a lot to look at matchups wise. We got double Monday Night Football again this week. So Josh Allen, the star player for Luke, and Bijan Robinson. They're playing against each other. That'll probably be Luke's favorite game of all time. Getting to watch both those guys on the same field at the same time. And JP, obviously you took on Luke this past week and he put up a good performance, but your team just looked that much better. Do you think that Luke can snap back into it, or is last week more the true colors of even if he gets into a shootout, his team doesn't have what it takes?
Yeah, it's the blind leading the blind here as I'm putting my faith in DJ Moore to play football this week. I really don't want to do it, but the headband Anthony's wearing has got me fired up about the Bears this week. Just happy that they're back playing football. I'm going to take Luke to win this. I don't know why. Tedero McMillan's might have 30 against that terrible Dallas secondary. I think Zay Flowers is going to bounce back against the Rams. They're probably going to get him involved way earlier than they did last time. McBride, I know that Colts defense has been getting torn up by tight ends. Oh man, I don't know. Bill is so bad, but the Bears defense is also not. The rush defense is just terrible.
Worst
and who knows
in terms of yards per rush in the league, Bears defense.
And if Jake Tonjes goes for 23 again, who's to say Luke can't score 180? So I'm gonna go with Luke here.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo JP here. I'm also taking Luke here. Just because I don't know if this is Frank's final lineup. I mean, he started 3 Texans last week, and that didn't end out so well for him. But I mean, with Justin Fields, as much as us Bears fans hate him, he just gets these 50-yard rushes, and I just don't understand how. And then he gets all these garbage time touchdowns, which makes no sense. But
7 points entering the fourth quarter, and
he's
finished
also in the overseas game this week. Keep that in mind. I don't know what that means or if that does anything to you or means anything to you.
That probably means he'll drop 40. I mean, hell, I don't know. But I like Luke's matchups. I like Bill going against our Bears. I mean, we'll probably have about 40 points there. Other than that, it's all gas and no brakes. Anthony, what do you think?
All right, just to clarify, who do we got on the right? Who do we got on the left?
Luke is on the right, and Frank is on the left.
All right, I'm gonna go Luke as well. First of all, I'm curious, who did he get ETN for? What was that trade? Do we know right off the bat?
The which one? Sorry.
Did I hear that ETN was traded, and the guy would be 5-0 if he didn't trade ETN?
Yeah, I'll pull the exact trade up for you so you can look at it right here.
So it's a monster trade there. Okay. Ooh, stinks for Braylon Allen. But yeah, so just notes on this. I mean, I think when you've got Josh Allen, Bijan, and Fields on the same team, Fields against that Denver defense is definitely not going to make it happen through the air. So I think he runs for a ton of yards. You saw what Ashton Genty did to the Bears. I think Bill, after his breakout game last game, he's going to be great. And then, which is unfortunate because I love the Bears. And then who's got Ted? Is that on the right as well?
That'd be Frank on the left.
That's Frank on the left.
On the left. I think that's his only hope here. I think Ted has to drop a 40 bomb. I think it could be the week he does it. This will be his breakout week, in my opinion. But yeah, I think you got to go. You got to go Luke here.
I'm gonna go Frank. I want to switch it up. I want to have a different pick on the panel. Like JP said, with Jake Tongas and all these other guys, you feel like you're relying on some certain things with Luke to go right. And with Frank, I know I hate the Seattle running back right now and how that's all been taking shape, but I just feel like there's a little bit more. You know what you're getting out of Frank? He's more of a consistent 140, 150. Where I mean, Luke's been a high scorer, but he also is very capable of going at 120 to 130. So I'm gonna stick more consistent, and I'll go with Frank. But this should be and could very well be our matchup of the week in week number 6 is we now move on to, hey, my matchup, the big dogs against Anthony. You commented on our Instagram. This is the team you are now becoming a fan of in Dade and the backseat boys. But I'll give my quick piece before I give it to JP. Great win for us last week. As I mentioned, I'm all in. Certain matchups, I don't love I hate the fact that Brees Hall's playing overseas. I hate those international games. Anyone who knows me knows I despise those international games. Hoping to see something from Devonta Smith. The Eagles have been a tough watch in certain aspects of fantasy. Looking for Igbuka and Ferg to continue being honestly the horses of my team and carrying things right now. And just curious to see what continues to happen with Alvin Kamara. I know he's not getting on the field as much, and that's a bit concerning seeing what I gave up for him. But I'm going to take myself. I always take myself, and I'm a heavy favorite this week, and rightfully so, taking on Dade. So, JP.
Yeah, try not to echo what you said. Gonna just talk about Dade primarily here. Hoping to see Scat continue what he's been doing, stay involved early and often. Hoping to see Worthy the same. But yeah, it's just gonna be a rough week for Dade altogether. It's probably gonna lose by, well, yeah, see, they have him projected to lose by 60. I'm taking Andy here. Not much else to add.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo both of y'all. Nothing much to add. Expect Fergie to have about 30 again. Going to get that Carolina D. Uh, Nothing much to add here. Taking Andy here. Zip.
Yeah, gonna do the same. It seems like we may have a case of guys that know ball taking advantage of guys that don't know ball in this league. But I love poverty franchises. I'm a Bears fan. Cubs are getting smacked right now. Chicago guy through and through. Blackhawks start tonight. I'm a fan of poverty franchises and teams with great names, and that's why I'm rolling the guy on the right here. Absolutely love that team name, best in the league. Have to be a fan of them. Hate that he's got Michael Wilson in there. Love that he's got Tremble in there. Big Tremble guy. Thought he was going to break out last week. Didn't. Holding out hope. And then get Hubbard out of the lineup. Rico Dowdle is the truth, and he's playing this week. Probably going to go for 200 again.
All righty, there you have it. That is another sweep across the board. We're good to have a few of these matchups every week based on, as I mentioned, the power shift in this league. Drew, I'm going to let you start here. This is your matchup. You got Boyer this week, who put up 200 a week ago, and I'll get it out of the way. Boyer's team is just an absolute wrecking ball, and I'd be a fool to pick against him in a stretch, so I'm taking Cam.
Yeah, it's not looking too great for his matchups. I mean, just right there. I mean, the three Gauntlets right there, JT, Kyron, and JSN. I mean, all have great matchups. JT's got to run all over that Arizona defense. I mean, that Baltimore defense looks awful. Jacksonville, I mean, they looked okay last night. They got the win, but their defense doesn't look that good. Waddle's going against the Chargers. I mean, they looked rough these last 2 weeks. But I mean, I got Javonte Williams going against the Carolina this week. I mean, he's been busting out, and that Carolina's been nothing great. And I'm gonna tell you boys this right now. I'm gonna try it out this week, and I'm hoping it works. I'm starting 3 tight ends this week. I'm starting Kelsey, Waller, and Pitts. I'm trying it out. I gotta do something. I'm changing the mojo. I
I
mean,
can say,
Waller.
Anthony, we are a tight end premium league.
Yep,
No,
yep, that I
that's
yep.
Yep. So Waller's been great. I mean, he's been one of Tua's favorite targets since he's been back. I mean, I think he's had 20 plus back-to-back weeks since he's been back. I could be wrong, but other than that, I'm gonna take myself. But yeah, I'm expecting a big week for myself, and this would be a big win for Stuff the Beaver.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Boyer here. He scored 160 plus in 3 straight weeks. He is a killing machine right now. I love everything he's got going on. He just went out and acquired McLaurin, even though he's been kind of quiet. It's the depth he needed to fill in on these bye weeks that are coming up. Taylor's been an absolute monster. Kyron's been a monster. JSN's probably going to be the wide receiver 1 when it's all said and done this year. Pittman has been a surprise. I like everything Boyer's got going right now. This is for first place in the division, and I think Boyer wins it and keeps it rolling.
what do we got here,
Yeah,
Anthony?
I got a question. So who you throwing in there aside, like to fill in for CD? Because CD's obviously not coming back.
So if he doesn't come back, I think I gotta start Josh Palmer again, which is a bummer. But I know, I know. I truly believe there's CDs coming back this week.
I will be betting Josh Palmer anytime Tutty and rolling Beeve here, just out of respect. I think that we got an obvious win here on the right side, but hey, three tight ends and a tight end premium. I love it. Let's go with that side. I'm going that side. All in.
Appreciate it. I love it. Love the support.
All right, we got a couple of more matchups here prior to our picks for the week. Brady coming off a big win against Zippy, taking on Ty and the Typhoons. Couple of 3-2 teams. Ty put up 160 and a loss to myself a week ago. I'll just rip this out of the way as well. Pretty obvious here. Want to give my panel members a chance to kind of speak more on this. I'm going to take Ty. A good one for Brady though last week, but I think just what Ty's been able to do, guys, scoring early and often, putting up boatloads of points. I just don't think Brady's going to be able to keep up in this track.
Yeah, I love to see Kamani Vidal in there getting that 9-point projection. Expect him to go over that. But other than that, Ty's team is loaded with firepower. Judkins has been a beast. St. Brown, obviously. I hate Debo so much, but he's been so good in fantasy. He benched Lab last week and paid the price, starting Ertz, who absolutely goose-egged. Andrew's still in the lineup. Tay Adams has been the red zone target. Long story short, Typhoons in a landslide.
Yeah, I don't got much to add here. I'm gonna take the Typhoons as well. I expect a bounce back week for Ty right here, and I believe he will go over his projection. I'm seeing like a 160 range again this week, but I will be taking the Typhoons.
Yeah, I do not agree with the Vidal love here, JP. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening with him or Haskins. I think they pull a guy at the practice squad, get help, or just do nothing and go all Herbert, which I'll touch on later. And then I still can't believe Jake lost that team. I mean, what an embarrassing loss. That's absolutely absurd and crazy, disgusting, honestly. And also hate Debo, but he's been electric. I think McLaurin comes back this week, but Debo will still get his, and pretty obvious win for the Typhoons here.
All righty, one final matchup before our picks of the week, and it is your cousin Anthony, and he's taking on arguably our worst roster in the league, and Wade in Gators Swamp. Nuz LLC is going to improve to 4-2 guys. I'm looking forward to seeing Jake's guys in prime time. You see the top right there, Jane Daniels taking on Chicago Monday Night Football, and Barkley. He's going to try and get some big points right away on Thursday Night Football. Once again, for Wade, the only thing he really is going to care about is Tua. It'll be Zippy and a landslide on my end to close out this weekend. For Jake's sake, hopefully AJ Brown scores more than 10 points.
Yeah, not much to add here. I cannot believe Julius Chestnut's getting a start in this league. We truly have hit rock bottom at this point in time. Although Rico Dowdle, bottom of the bench, as Anthony just mentioned, looking at maybe another 200-yard performance. Who knows? But this is going to be a landslide win for Nuz after that crushing defeat and what should have been an easy win. Bounces back here.
I was today years old when I learned that Tyler Conklin's on the Chargers. I did not know that. I didn't know when I would need to know that information, but I did not know that. Drew, your thoughts?
I'm taking Nuz here. I don't really have anything to add here. It's going to be a blowout. So, Anthony, you got anything?
Yeah, I would. If I'm Gator Swamp, I'm changing my name to Gator Swamp Ace because that team stinks on ice. If I'm Jake, what I'm trying to do is trade for Rico Dowdle right now for the week just to pile it on even more. I absolutely love Rico Dowdle, as we know. So also got some faith in Kendra Miller. I think he might be the starter in New Orleans. So that's maybe a piece that he could trade for some more draft capital over there on the Swamp Ace side. But yeah, it's going to be Jake in a landslide and a good bounce back game here.
All righty, there you have it. Our week 6 picks and previews. But before we let Anthony go, Drew, it's your segment. We normally end the show with this, but we are going to our picks of the week. JP, real quick, how did we do last week?
Last week as a group, we went 1-2, unfortunately. We combated each other. Andy took the Giants money line. I took Saints -1.5. And Drew took the Chargers -2.5. Drew and Andy both missed, bringing Andy's record to 2-3, my record to 4-1, and Drew's record to 1-4. The group is sitting at 7-8. We're under 500. We really need a good week here. Anthony, we're hoping you can help us out here.
Yeah.
All right,
Before we
take it away, Beef.
Yeah, before we get started, you guys might as well just fade me from now on. I'm 0-4 in the last weeks. Yeah. So, as you know, Anthony, as you watch our show, we'll be giving out picks. So yeah, let's lead the way.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I need to win this week. I'm gonna go Seahawks on the road against Jacksonville money line. That's the pick. This is a tough slate this week. They are the underdogs. and I'm going to take the Seahawks. Big win for the Jags on Monday Night Football against Kansas City. It's a short week for them, and I love what Seattle did. Even though they came up short against Tampa, that was a great game. That offense is extremely electric, and even though it was a tough week for their secondary, Tampa's got good receivers. I like Washington, or I like Seattle's secondary, and I trust them more, even though being on the road. And I need an underdog victory as well this year, so I'm going to take the Seahawks money line.
Nice, I like it. Okay, Anthony, I'm gonna go to you. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think Seahawks is actually a guru pick. I might not have even have seen that or bet it, but that's a great pick. I'll tell that for sure. I'm going to stay away from a spread here or a money line pick. And I said I would touch on Justin Herbert again earlier in the pod here, but I'm going to go whatever his over under is on passing yards. I'm taking the over. Offensive line is depleted. I don't think Vidal or Haskins has it, but they're going up against like the 32nd ranked Miami defensive line. So whatever is going to happen for the Chargers is going to happen through Justin Herbert, and I do expect them to win against Miami this week, get back on track after 2 losses. So I'm going to take Justin Herbert over passing yards. I don't know if the line's been released yet, which is why I don't have the number.
The line has not been released yet. I'm on it right now. Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, whenever the graphic comes out, put it on Justin Herbert over passing yards.
We will do that. All right, great pick. I love it. JP, I'm going to you.
Yeah, I am going to go with kind of a controversial pick here. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be fading this in the public, but I'm going to take the Chiefs -2.5 at home against the Lions. Lions are hot and look great. Chiefs look absolutely horrendous. Tell me why the Chiefs are favored. I have no idea. 80% of the bets on the Lions. Even more to the reason to take the Chiefs at home. Give me the Chiefs -2.5. Take the points. Love that play.
All right, and finally, I'm going to give you guys my pick. I'm taking the Saints again +3.5. I think they cover.
Saints wagon, baby.
New England's coming off
Okay.
New England's coming off a big win. They just beat Buffalo on Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the points. I'm taking the sprinkling the money line. I'm loving it. I think they at least cover, and I think they even win. So that's what I'm taking.
Love the Rattler wagon.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, Rattler is a better quarterback than Bryce Young. You heard it here first.
All righty. Beav spitting takes to wrap things out. Anthony, man, we appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much for being our guest this week. Any final words before we set you free?
No, I mean, it was a pleasure. I'll come back on anytime. I think that I'm going to parlay Seahawks, Chiefs, Saints, and Herbert passing yards here. The science is there on all of those picks. That's what my brother would be doing. We always crap on him for his picks, but it doesn't make sense, so it makes sense, and that's why we have those picks. And I think they're genius. I think you guys are geniuses. For the league, all those that were down in the dumps that I crapped on, I still love you guys, but we need to start making some better trades and don't get taken advantage by the Andys and the JPs of the world, because they'll come for you.
Anthony Zipparro, appreciate your time, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure. Take it easy.
Anthony, thanks so much for coming on, being our guest here this week. Make sure to tap into our Instagram, beaver.fest, to be potentially involved in future giveaways and opportunities to join us here on the show. Going a bit out of order, we had Anthony on. He gave his pick of the week, as did we. We normally finish with picks of the week, but we're going to finish this show how we finished every show last year and every show before that, with our weekly power rankings. And man, we have some movement throughout the middle and even a new top team as we peer into JP's screen, and a lot of red and green at the top, JP.
A lot of red and green at the top. And so as those watching can see, we have a new number one. Cam Boyer putting up 209 points this week. Finally gets the nod from myself and Beav. Andy putting them at number 2. Then we move down to number 2. 1, 2, and 3 across the board. Andy put myself at 1. Myself put myself at 2. Drew put me at 3, dropping down a spot. I think we can all... Andy preaches the consistency thing, and I've been relatively consistent, at least in the same range here. And Boyer's kind of been all over the place, except for the last 2 weeks. Me and Drew obviously have given Boyer the nod there, especially after a 209-point showing.
Insane.
I mean,
insane,
absolutely insane there. Andy, making your way up to number 3, up 2 spots from number 5. How's it feel to enter the top 3?
It's about time, man. I'm happy that we've been able to get some matches in the win column to kind of justify myself being a top team. And 192 points, we're still the highest scoring team in this league. I feel like it's long overdue. I should be 4-1. There's no denying that. My 2 losses are me not playing Keenan Allen in week 1 and losing by less than 5 points, and then me being the second highest scorer in the league that week and losing to Cam Boyer. So I'm happy with my group, super stoked, and feels right. Feels good to be the number 3 team.
Beavin, you flying all the way up the list from 7 to 4. We kind of discussed it a little bit during the recaps of, Andy likes the consistency, and I said if you scored 150, I'd finally start to see it come to fruition. So I rewarded you handsomely. Andy did not feel so. How do you feel about moving up to number 4, though?
Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good. Like I told you guys, I scored 171 without starting another quarterback, so that's gonna make me happy. Especially having CD and Mike Evans out, two of my top scorers. You got to be happy about that. My bench guys coming through and showing up for me. So, I mean, Darren Waller, gonna be more happy to have him on my squad. He's performing at a great speed. So, yeah.
Frank, I think this is the lowest I have ever put you in a power ranking since we have started these. I'm not feeling the SEAL Team Knicks right now. Uh, just honest to God, worried about a lot of things going on there. But obviously, still got the championship aspirations. Andy leaving you at 4. Drew also not feeling the SEAL Team Knicks vibes, dropping you down to number 6. Now, the most polarizing team in the league, we're talking about Luke, was the last remaining undefeated team, dropped a game this week. It's still a good showing, 150 points, as we discussed last week. That's above the league average. But this week, if not, he would have lost to a lot of teams. I think 5 other teams scored 160 or above. So still would have been a loss for him. Drew, still showing the bias, the frustration
Yeah.
of that week 3 loss. Number 7. I respect the hate. I respect
Yeah, I
the
mean,
hate.
if we go back to what Andy said, I mean, if George Pickens didn't cry like a little baby, I'd be 4-1 right now. I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be on the field. Anyways, that week's
I don't
passed.
think I
We're
said that.
over.
I think you said that.
No, I'm
But
just saying. But you said if you would have started Keenan Allen, you would have been 4
yeah,
and 1.
oh,
So
about that.
that's.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying basically. So
If I can jump in here to kind of justify maybe myself and even for you guys, spots 4 through 8, that was tough.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we're all over the board 4 through 8. I think that was the tier this week that was really hard to put together. That's why we're all over this.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Scrap Zippy here, sorry, Zip, you could see the panel was not feeling the love for you this week, but we'll get to you in a second. But 4 through 7, I mean, we had 3 teams repeating the same decimal number at 5.67. It was really tough to gauge what we were doing there. Ty moving up a spot from 7 or from 8 to 7. My apologies, with the 160-point showing, but still taking a loss. And then we get to arguably the worst possible ranking for Zippy to see himself at 8, one spot outside of a playoff ranking as the 8th best team. That's definitely in part to Drew putting him all the way down at 10. Drew, why don't you tell us why you had Zippy down at 10?
yeah, Zippy, I love you, man. But hey, I had to give Brady his praise. I had to rank above you. I mean, he won.
I mean, you didn't have to, but you chose to.
I did choose to. Okay, but I mean, he beat him. He was the better team this week, and you guys say every week we go week by week. So I mean,
We do.
if that's how we're gonna do it. I mean,
Well,
Brady's
then
better than Jake right
I
now.
gotta ask, shouldn't Luke be above you?
Oh,
No, because I outscored him this week.
Oh,
but
he
he's
beat
beaten you. He has beaten you.
It doesn't matter. I outscored him this week.
Okay, interesting logic there. But even so, Zippy, me and Andy were not feeling NUS LLC this week, as most people in the league should not feel NUS LLC, as that would be violating a lot of laws. Then we move on to Matt's team. Matt, you are stuck in no man's land. I don't know. It's been a long time since you've moved off of number 9. Brady, feeling some love, and then the rest of you guys start figuring out who you're picking in the draft. A combined 0-15 record between Crunk, Jack, and Wade. I did mean to bring this up a little bit ago. I meant to bring it up actually when we were doing the recaps, but I was going back and looking at something, and how long did it, or how long did it take for Dade to get his next win? How long was that streak? What did he lose?
was
19
November.
consecutive
It was
games?
17 games.
Yeah, November of 2023 until week 1 of this or whenever he won this year. I don't know if it was that week 1.
Gotcha, because Cam Crook has not won a game since week 4 of last year was his last win. So we go to week 4 NFL season 2024. We are looking at that would be September 26th of 2024 since Cam Crook has won a game. We might be seeing an unprecedented streak going here.
When do Crunk, Jack, and Wade play each other?
Well, Jack doesn't play Wade at all.
Oh.
At all. So that's going to come down to a points for and or warning used. If someone decides, if Jack pays someone under the table or Wade pays someone under the table to take a warning, just don't let the league find out or you will be punished severely. But yeah, they don't play each other at all. Crook definitely plays Jack. I know that for sure because they're in the same division. So they at least play each other once.
That'll be the game of the year.
It has to be. It has to be the game of the year because it is the difference between potentially Jeremiah Love and no Jeremiah Love. So it'll definitely.
No, I was just gonna say it'll be quite interesting if Jack uses the second warning to lose the Cam to get that.
Well, and if it's if I don't know their schedules, but if it's after week 10, they can't even use the warning anymore. The warning's gone. So if it's it might even be, I don't even remember our tanking rules. Hell, I enforce them all the time. I think it either is week 11, 12, 13, 14, or it starts week 10. But if they play between week 11 and 14, they can't. You know what? I'm going to go check. I will fact check right now when they.
I'm checking the schedule right now.
Perfect.
Let's see here. Oh, they play each other. Cam and Jack play each other in week 8.
Week 8. So there is a warning to be used on the table by Crook, as I'm sure he's aware, and Jack could forfeit a second-round pick and pay another $10 fine. If he really wants the first pick that bad, he is able to forfeit a second and $10 that will go towards the draft this year. It's water under the bridge now, but I do believe I forgot to enforce Jack's fine last year. So Jack, just hope that the treasurer this year doesn't come knocking at draft time. Matt, make a note of that. But anyways, that rounds out the power rankings. Unless any of you boys got anything you want to add or talk about with any of the teams.
I say, yeah, Matt, get comfortable at 9, man. I don't foresee a world where you move up or down. I think you got that spot pretty locked up.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, what Matt's plan is, because he just traded Terry for Wade's second, which isn't even guaranteed anymore, as we just talked about, 201. So, and it might not
it'll still be
in contrary. I actually think we just talked about how it's guaranteed to be 201. It looks like Jack's gonna have to win a game here, and Wade doesn't stand a chance at beating anybody. So, on the contrary, I think Matt just gained 201. It will be interesting though to see if Matt actually sits comfortably with the picks he has this year, goes into the draft, or if he pulls a Cam Boyer and again stays in purgatory.
He's a wild card, man. He likes to make moves. I don't know if he'll be able to sit still for too long.
It will. Yeah. What did he say? These picks are burning a hole in my pocket. So
yeah, he'll be a fun one at the deadline. I promise. There'll be a good time with him.
So, anyways, I think that kind of finishes up our power rankings.
Yeah, boys, fantastic episode. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Instagram, beaver.fest. Once again, big thank you to Anthony Zipparro for hopping on with us today. It was a pleasure. It was a whole lot of fun, and we thank you, as always, for the constant support of our wonderful league. You know where to catch us, same time, same place next week here on the Just Beavin podcast.